Sir, time is 20 minutes. After 18 minutes, I'll give you two noise sound, and after 20 minutes, louder sounds. Thank you.
Namaste to all. I will not take long because many speakers and also I want to learn. And I want also to use this chance other than to learning from great scholars. I want to introduce to all of you about Indonesia, about Bali. Uh, so this is it's okay. About Bharata and Indonesia. Bharata in ancient time it's called Bharata Varsha. So in Indonesia, till now, even in our Talpatra scriptures, we have unlimited scriptures written in Talpatra in Indonesia. When you come to Bali, you can go to the north of Bali. We have a big building of a museum full of Talpatras. We have a lot of scriptures there. So this is one of the remnant of the relationship between India and Indonesia. So in ancient time, India is called Bharata Varsha. Same in Indonesia, we used to say to call Indonesia as the Bharata Varsha. Only the pronunciation is like this, Bharata Varsha. So we call Bharata Varsha. So according to what I read, the Bharata Varsha was a big, how you say, not country, yeah? It's so big. It's a, yeah, you just say country, big countries. It's with 8 Mahadvipa and At Mahadvip or Upa Mahadvip. So Bharata से उतना बड़ा था, बहुत बड़ा था, so big. So one of 8 Upa Mahadvipa was Indonesia. Two were Indonesia. So we are not different than India. We are just same, and till now we feel that we are not Indonesian, we are Indian. And to call like the relationship is not correct, but we talk about relationship between India and Indonesia. It's just long ago. You can find this in the Yuddha Kanda of Valmiki Ramayana. That time when the Sugriva sent the Vanaras to all corner of the world and to the southern direction. Before sending them, Sugriva give the direction to the Vanaras, to the armies. And Sugriva said, Yatnavanto Jawadvipam Saptarajyo Pasubhitam. Yatnavanto Jawadvipam, तुम लोग जाओ जावा जाओ सप्तरजो पशुविदम वहां तुमको मिलेगा 7 kingdom. Go to the south and go to the Java Dvipa, where you can find 7 kingdom. उसका मतलब उस टाइम कम से कम सुग्रीवा जाते थे. That means Sugriva already know very well about Indonesia. So it's not the relationship between India and Indonesia, but we are just same. Bharata Varsha, or we call Bharata Varsha. And the sutra, the thread connecting India and Indonesia is Veda. Vedic knowledge, Vedic teaching, Vedic Sanskriti, culture, religion, and spirituality. This connecting India and Indonesia. And as we know that Nasti Vedat Param Shastram. In this world, no other scripture higher than or better than Veda. So that's only that kind of string, that kind of sutra can connecting India and Indonesia. Until now, you can see the remnant. How Indonesia, especially, I want to show you about Bali. How Bali now, you can see because the relationship between India and Indonesia in ancient time. So even what you cannot see in India, you can see in Bali. जो परिणाम है इंडोनेशिया और भारत का संबंध अभी भी जीवित है और ऐसे भी है कि जो आपके पास यहाँ नहीं या आप यहाँ नहीं देख सकते वो बाली में आप देख सकते हैं जैसे ये सामूहिक प्रार्थना है दैट्स प्रेयर टुगेदर you cannot see in India but in Indonesia you can still see this thousand people sit together and pray together. Not like here. In here, you can see only just 1 second. You go in front of the deity in the temple and you go like this. It's a private relationship with God, private connection with God. But in Bali, you can see, in the picture, you can see thousand people sitting together and do prayer. In a big temple, a lot of temples, you can see it's interesting to see. I use this chance here to promote Bali, to insisting you to come to Bali. Welcome to Bali, and see. I used to say that when you go to America, go to Tokyo, Hong Kong, you will see what you can see in New Delhi, in Mumbai. But when you go to Bali, you will see new world. You can see that you can see new world. So welcome, yeah. And how we make offering? That's for many days. Usually mothers, yeah, women, they will prepare this kind of offering, so beautiful offering. And this we offer every day. You can see how many meters full of fruit, cake, flowers. It's very heavy. How the mother bear it from their house to go to the temple. So this and as the latest Magadha's dynasty, the spreading not only the political uh, things but also art, culture, religion, and also spirituality. And now we can see this. This is Buddhist temple, biggest Buddhist temple in the world. It's called Borobudur. So this is the result of the relationship between Magadha to Indonesia. You can still see the life. And this is a Prambanan temple. It's a 1016 years old temple. And to let you know that I just started 2-3 years ago. I just started to do Agnihotra fire ceremony here, which never done. So I did there, and also I started to do Dev Deepavali there. We lit 108 Deepas there. So you still can see the result of the relationship between Magadha and Indonesia. And I will conclude this just shortly that the biggest kingdom in Indonesia, influenced by Magadha dynasty, was Kutai kingdom in the Kalimantan Island, which is called Ratnadwipa. Yeah, Ratnadwipa. That's Kalimantan, and they found there 7 upas, but not a temple like just now I showed to you. Just they found upas, and they found also the how they offer the king, that King Mula Warman offered 20,000 cows, gold, etc., etc. And then the other dynasty, this is Kutai dynasty, and then dynasty Mataram dynasty. It's in Java, and also a very famous and also created lots of temples. And then the Sriwijaya, as you know, Sriwijaya, that's Buddhist temple. Even I heard that even Indian people used to go to Sriwijaya to learn Buddhism. And also the king of Sriwijaya offered lots of, I think, land or some gold to the temple here in Bihar. And to let you know that lots of Buddhist scriptures created in Indonesia. The most famous one is called Sutta Soma. It's written in palm leaf, and it's in the level of Mahakavya. It's not a kavya only, but Mahakavya. What I want to say in here is that the one sentence is taken as the motto of Indonesia, national motto of Indonesia. Till now, if you see Indonesian um, national bird, yeah, bird, the bird, that eagle, keeping the motto that is called Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. So it's taken from the last line of the um, Sutta Soma scripture. Let me sing this so that you can get some information about how we recite our scriptures there in Indonesia in Balinese way. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika Tanhan Dharma like this we sing. It means that unity in diversity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rasacharya Imade Dharmayata. With this, we proceed to our fourth speaker, and they're very interesting mentions which we found in the previous lecture, but we'll come back during the conclusion session. So now may I request Vietnam National University PhD scholar, Master Le Lin Chi. The theme will be the imprint of Indian Buddhism in the Khmer Cultural Festival in southern Vietnam. Time is 20 minutes for you, and uh, if you have to put your install your, pardon, did I miss you? Oh, sorry, you can wait till you can install. I'm sorry, and we have earlier speaker. Yeah, I have to invite Professor Andrea Lozeres. She will be talking on wealth and prosperity rituals in Asian Buddhism, with special emphasis on cults of wealth in Thailand.
May I have some assistance, please, for regarding
She
my
needs some help,
PowerPoint?
please. And your time is 20 minutes after the technical issues are resolved. And I'll give you, on 18 minutes, I'll give you a knock.
This,
The,
this
the power.
12, 12
ये
it
आप
is,
लोग
no?
जो दरवाजे से आते
Yeah,
हो
that's
बहुत
one.
शोर
Which-
करते हो,
which-
आगे से शांति
where
से
do I
आना थोड़ा,
forward?
है ना, इधर से और
This one.
उधर से आप
Okay.
लोग जो आते हो
Okay.
ना, डिस्टरबेंस होती है.
Okay.
This one. Forward.
No, I don't want this animation. Just normal.
There
Okay.
is no.
Thank you. Um, Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the chair and the introduction. I'm happy to speak here in Magadha, although I'm not at all an expert regarding the Thailand relationship with India. So, as I'm more I'm a scholar or a student of Tibetology and an expert on tantric art. So anyway, I thought I find some connection with Thailand as I was requested, and I chose this subject, the wealth deities and the prosperity rituals, because it is a pan-Asian Buddhist phenomena. And so I tried to trace that as much as I could in a rather limited time, since I got the notice for this seminar rather late, in the last moment. Of course, I could have spoken in a Tibetan studies environment very much at length because I have translated several texts, quite many texts from Tibetan of these rituals, mostly in their tantric contexts, which I have to leave out for this time. Now, generally speaking, there are three names what we are discussing here when we speak of wealth deities. There are many, of course, but the main is what in the Brahmanical context is called Kubara, but Kubara is also known as Chambala and also as Vaishravana. So they're interchangeable, these names. And this latest I found that we have seen, you also in the museum here in Bodh Gaya, you see sculptures of Kubara or Chambala, whatever you call it, as it's very common, and you can recognize him with this pot belly, which also symbolizes uh, prosperity. So, in the Indian Puranas, Kubara is also listed as one of the 8 Ashtadik Balakas. And legend says in the Puranas that Kubara had requested a boon from Brahma that he might become a Lokapala and the custodian of wealth. So Brahma responded by supplying Kubara with the treasures of Shankhanidhi and Padmanidhi and flying airplane like Vimana, the Puspakaminava. And whatever it is now, this there were yogic powers conferred on Kubara, which made him, as he is not really considered as a deity, but rather a half deity, and actually also a kind of yaksha. Anyway, as the king of the yakshas in the Hindu mythology. And in India, devotees recite specific prayers till now dedicated to Kubara, and their offerings made of rice and coins and sweets to him. And now, and so on. So this is very common. Now, as for the description, and even in these ancient Indian representations, they're not so early. I mean, I could discover that they are mostly at the beginning, what we call during the Magadha Empire, Pala time, Pala era, where they started. Mahayana was already established and started the tantric period also represented into art. There we find more Kubara or Jambala statue. Now he's seated in this position, sometimes also, I mean, with both feet down, and his one foot is placed on the conch, and he holds in one hand, he holds a nakula, a mongoose, which is vomiting pearls as a sign of richness again. And in one of the presentations in the right hand, he holds the jambu fruit, which is a sort of lemon kind. That's why he is also called the Jambala, right? So now you may say why there are wealth deities, why there are prosperity rituals. Well, evidently, it is necessary. You need money to donate to the monks, to the temples, and so on. So it is, of course, a worldly concern, but also it has some higher purpose, you may say. So, and particularly in the as a tantric practitioner, all these very opulent rituals, they require a certain standard of wealth. So that has been rather important, this wealth deities, and are practiced everywhere and every day even, right? To be on the safe side regarding uh, materialism. Now I discovered a little bit how this Kubara or Chambala, Vaishravana, traveled or was integrated into other Buddhist cultures. Like in China, you see here the name is Durwen Tianwan, if I pronounce it correctly, but also Lakshmi is very much venerated in China, uh, as is stated in the Golden Light Sutra. So here we have another riding on the lion, Chambala or Vaishravana seated on the lion, more like a warrior. You know, he is after all also the guardian, the Dikpala of the northern direction in the mandala. So he is sort of like a warrior, like in martial attire. Then another example I collected in Japan, where he appears as Bishamonten, and Shri was, or Lakshmi was replaced by a form of Saraswati, which is called Bensai Ten. Now, as we have many visitors from, from these countries, so if you have any more contributions or no other names or rituals from your native places, also in connection with folk rituals, I would be very interested to complement that. I was years ago in the late 80s in Japan, also at the conference in Narita. There's this famous Narita San Shinjoshi temple, which is tantric. And there we witnessed, with delegates, we were invited to witness these famous fire rituals there, right? So, and I was really surprised to see that there are all these Japanese businessmen in their dark suits and all that. And then they rush up and hold their purses, their handbags, and their wallets over the sacred fire to get it blessed. So I found it that a rather interesting approach by Japanese businessmen to take advantage of such wealth rituals. Then, now we come to Tibet. In Tibet, of course, it's also very popular. The many different forms of Vaishravana called Namang Döse in Tibetan, but we also use the name Kubara or Chambala. So it's even a pre-Buddhist ritual, which is still now practiced. In Bhutan, it's very popular, but this is an example of Malaysia. But it's a tantric Tibetan Buddhist ritual because this Yangtup, it's called Yangtup, these rituals were integrated, of course, like everything else, into the Buddhist Vajrayana by Padmasambhava. So this is Tibet. What else we have? Oh yes, we have some presentations of many different forms. There's a yellow one, there's a red one, and also the one I missed anyway, white Mahakala and so on. That's all uh, in Tibet. Another form is this Yashudhara, which is mostly practiced by the Nevals, and the Golden Tara. So they're all, deities, female or male. You pray to, you worship them, you make them offering in order that you have some get wealthy. And in Vietnam, I could only find that out that it is called Gong Ming. Maybe you can give me more explanations about that. But that is more influenced by by Vietnamese folk religion. You see here is this Gong Ming, like a patriarch sitting also on a tiger. So, but now we come to Thailand, as that's supposed to be the most important part. Now in Thailand, these cults, also always under the cover of Buddhism, they nowadays, particularly in modern times, they use very much amulets and spirit mediums. That's apparently extremely popular in Vietnam. This is one of such example, this sort of kata, where they have mantras, sort of mantra, Thai script, but supposed to be Sanskrit or Pali, which they wear around their necks or whatever. So this is typical for Thailand, but that needs absolutely more research, which I could not do. And there is also this Erawan shrine in Bangkok, which houses the statue of this Ta Tum, which is a representation of Brahma. So Brahma, as a Hindu deity, is also integrated into these prosperity rituals in Bangkok and particularly celebrated. So of course, I have here more information about that, uh, depending on the time. There's a new figure, this Deptan Chai or Bobugi, in particular popular in Thailand, also in modern Thailand and in Burma. Sort of also an old man, who is worshipped for granting or prayed to for having this boon of good wishes. And then another phenomena is this these ascetics. They are called rishi. I mean Reusi. They are called Reusi, but it's it comes from the Indian rishi, and they worship Ganesha, and they give also spiritual advice and for wealth and well-being and so on. So that is also a new development now in Thailand. So these are some examples which I found from these amulets, which sell for different prices, 3 to 100 US dollars. You may acquire that. You can also buy them online. So in this way, these wealth rituals and these deities, which of course deriving from the Brahmanical Indian tradition, have spread, integrated into the local folk traditions and under the cover of Buddhism into all Pan-Asian Buddhist cultures. And particularly in Thailand, it has become a very central part of the religious life, and it is under the protection of the government and also the military. So that is an interesting phenomena to be studied further. How this, particularly in Thailand, in modern Thailand, which is not actually the theme of these conferences, how they are now very much dominant. Another, so far, I have, yeah. And the purposes and effectiveness of these wealth retreats for the local, particularly Thai communities, they're as folk religious strategies under the guise of Buddhism and visions of a solution for economic welfare. That is sort of a tool for it, but how effective it has to be seen. Now, at the end, I'd like to say that how do we approach this wealth deities? From my Tibetan texts, which are, of course, for that you need empowerment and instructions and all that. But there's a certain key in order to get the goodwill of this of Kubara or Chambala, Vaishravana, so that he is granting you also what you pray for, whatever it may be. It could be also a legal case involving property, it could be an inheritance which is disputable, or even just to have an empty pocket and you need a scholarship, whatever it may be. So there is one thing which is essential to practice, because he's also an Ishta Devata. You can, under the order of Padmasambhava in the tantric context, is that first of all, it is in the Mahayana context, it is connected with the paramita of dana, right? With generosity. That means if you want to be wealthy and rich, so first you give alms, to the poor. You give donations to the higher ones, to the temples. But most of all, you have to give what we call the gift of Dharma. That means you spread the teaching of Lord Buddha, and that pleases Kumara, Chambala, Vaishravana, whatever you may call, or Lakshmi, and you will have uh, enough to have a happy and blissful and prosperous life. So far, in the how do you say, in the rather worldly context of Buddhist practice in pan-Asian societies. But any input from your particular countries, I would be happy to get more information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Andrea Sibari Lozeres, for the brilliant interpretation of Dwarpal, or custodian, or Kuber, and the different names, uh, different times, how it must have been. It must be having the connotations, whether Paramita or Padmasambhav or whatever. We'll come back to that. But I must congratulate you for finishing it well in time. So, saving the time for the next speaker, may I now request uh, Master Lê Linh Chi, PhD scholar, Vietnam National University, Vietnam. She will be talking about the imprint of Indian Buddhism in the Khmer Cultural Festival in southern Vietnam. So your time is 20 minutes. After 18 minutes, I'll give you a little hint. So your time starts now. You need some help?
This there?
Okay.
Okay. Which one? This one?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lê Linh Chi. I'm come from Vietnam.
Closer to the mic,
Yes.
when all the speakers, when they're talking now, so be
Yes.
closer to the mic, because
Yeah.
previous
It's
speaker we
okay.
couldn't hear properly. Yeah, I didn't want to disturb you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Lê Linh Chi. I'm come from Vietnam with my mentor Phan Anh Tú. Yes. And today I will share my topic is the imprint of Indian Buddhists in the Khmer Cultural Festival in southern Vietnam. Yes, now I can start my presentation. Introduction. Theravada Buddhist originated in India, introduced in Southeast Asia very early, and has a profound influence on the cultural life of the Khmer people in the South. Theravada Buddhism became the official religion. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Theravada Buddhism became the official religion of the Khmer community of the South, governing their spiritual value, ethics, beliefs, and philosophy of life. And now I can share a picture taken by me in Sóc Trăng province, Vietnam. Yes, Som Rong Pagoda. Yes. The Khmer people in the South are the second largest ethnic minority community after the Chinese in Vietnam, residing mainly in the Mekong Delta due to the characteristics of concentrated and stable residential areas. The Khmer community has a high level of cohesion. This is an important condition to have them maintain and preserve their long-standing cultural identity. High uniformity in the beliefs and religion of community, preserving thousands of years of pagoda and custom, especially unique festivals. In my article, analyze the manifestation of India Buddhist in Southern Khmer Festival from keyword about symbols, cultural philosophy to the potential of exploitation in cultural tourism, especially Theravada Buddhist to rituals and symbols in Southern Khmer Festival. Rituals of originating from Indian Buddhists have been adapted and localized in the Khmer ritual space, creating a system of ritual value, sacredness, and highly to representation. The Southern Khmer community with a large population in Chaving and Sóc Trăng province is one in the indigenous peoples with a rich system of religious and cultural ritual. The Khmer festival system such as Chanchanam Thamai, Ok Ombok, Katina offering is both sacred and has the function of connecting the community. Notably, many rituals in this festival originate from Indian Buddhists, maintain, transform, and ritualize in the indigenous space of the Southern Khmer people. The Buddhist imprint is strongly present in Khmer Pagoda, architecture throughout Western Vietnam, along with Khmer ritual and festival. The life of Khmer people is closely linked to Southern Buddhism. The pagoda is sacred center of the entire community. Monks are the spirits to support to guide and educate the community. Khmer festival are all associated with the praise, space of pagoda and religious rituals run by monks. In particular, the Southern Khmer people have a rich system of traditional festival input its identity such as Chanom Thamai of Ambok Katina. And now I can see some picture taken by me in Katina festival. Second, manifestation of Indian Buddhism in Southern Khmer festival. The structure and timing of Khmer festivals are closely linked up to the Buddhist calendar and Buddhist ritual. Their festivals are not only religious rituals but also cultural performance spaces demonstrating the profound exchange between Southern Buddhist and Southern Khmer culture. The South, the Southern Khmer festival are its cultural connection, the interweaving of Indian cultures and indigenous beliefs have created rituals, presentations that are sacred, communal, and with lively, attractive performance, highly symbolic with many layers of meaning. Yes, this festival ចនឆ្នាំថ្មី at Chavin province. John Nam Tamai and the theory of reincarnation Sankran ritual. In the John Nam Tamai festival, the ritual of bathing the Buddha, sprinkling clean water and praying for peace for ancestors and clear mass of Southern Buddhists. The rituals are not only spiritual but also a form of expressing collective morality and filial piety. According to Clifford Geertz, the meaning of the ritual lies in the symbolic space shaped by culture. Therefore, bathing the Buddha of sprinkling water is also a meaningful action, bringing a spiritual benefits. Yeah, and pagoda in Japan province and inside of pagoda at cầu kè. Yeah, in Katina. Yes, can you see me in this picture? Yeah. Katina, offering Katina robes, rituals from the Vinaya. Katina originated from the Vinaya when the Buddha allowed lay people to offer Kasaya robe to months after 3 months of retreat. The Khmer people in the South maintains this ritual solemnly, expressing the connection between the Sangha and the laity, the symbols of Kasaya, lantern, and altars are decorated in ritual pattern, creating a feel of sacred meaning, connecting heaven and earth. All are manifestations of embodied cultural capital. Three, Ock and the sacred agricultural ritual art. Ock originated from agricultural beliefs. But today the meaning of Buddhist rituals is very clear. Thanksgiving the three waves, releasing lanterns, praying for peace for homeland. Ritual also includes the perpetrating rituals for ancestors which has ritual elements for Buddhist salvation rituals, but accurate that cultural symbols are layers on meaning structures in ritual practice. Therefore, Ombok is no longer purely social ritual. Yeah. This is a night of Oktober festival in Sóc Trăng province in a tourist holiday. Yeah. And in a pagoda. Yes, by Vietnamese called đua ghe ngò. Yes, in both Trà Vinh and Sóc Trăng province. Yeah. It's biggest festival of Khmer in Vietnam. Yes, it is in Katina festival. Conclusion. With this study, we focus on analyzing in the imprint of India Buddhist in Khmer festival in southern Vietnam. In order to understand how Buddhist rituals have been adapted and localized in this festival, as well as the way with the Khmer community cultural dialogue process, both preserves in its identity and find solutions to effectively explore and promote the value of cultural heritage in the context of cultural industry. Khmer festival in the interweaving of the influence of Indian Buddhists have created unique sacred ritual spaces, demonstrating the absorption and reception become a result of cultural result. This study also provide an important basis for building policies to preserve and explore the cultural identity of ethnic minorities in Vietnam in a timely manner in the area globalization and integration that is taking place very quickly and strongly around the world. And now I can see some picture. Yeah, this tourism from Cambodia to Vietnam. I took it on Sam Rong Pagoda, Sóc Trăng province, Vietnam. Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the brilliant and very colorful presentation full of pictures and particularly the festivals and the new things which were there. And we also wish you, this seminar wishes you good luck for your completion of PhD. May you come next time with a doctorate degree. And so we wish you good luck. And now with this, we come to the last paper of this session. And I cordially invite Professor Chan Thion Thoi, who is Deputy Director General, Royal Academy of Cambodia. Very influential. If you are visiting Cambodia, he'll be very helpful, I'm sure. The paper is Khmer Civilization Before the Angkorian Period. Your time is 20 minutes. He's also co-chairing the session, so I don't have to tell you much. You will take care of your time. Thank you.
So because of co-chair, I may steal more time from you, huh? Okay.
All yours.
Good afternoon. Yeah, you hear me? It's clear? Okay. Why don't you come a bit front? I can see, and probably we can see, we can talk more about Magat to Southeast Asia. First, would like to say Namaskar, Swasti. You have the same, yeah? Buddhang saranang gacchami, Sangkang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami. The same, the same. This the Buddhism. So, and first to my colleague, my friend, Professor Bachan Kumar. We are very friends in long time ago, and sign to Indian sign, especially to the Magadha University. This is my first trip to Mahavira Temple, the Buddha temple of Naranjana River. I and with colleagues of Vietnamese, especially to Professor Antu. We know Antu, we know Bachan Kumar since a long time. We just friends. I would suggest before starting my presentation, you should not do conference between Magat and Thailand. You know, Thai, they have name Siam, then Thai just 1939. So should be Magat and Southeast Asia, much better, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Today is my presentation, the Khmer civilization before Angkorian period. Thank you to colleague, neighbor country, Vietnam, Professor Antu and Ko An. She's talk about the Khmer culture already. I'm not need to talk anymore because this one. But actually, I tell you the story, real story was happened. Okay, Khmer Kingdom was first starting because of the Silk Road, maritime Silk Road. So maritime Silk Road emerged Srivijaya, Funon, Champa, in Da Nang, in north, some part of Vietnam, because of the Silk Road, maritime Silk Road. Maritime Silk Road, we have Oak Cao seaport. Professor Antu just talking about this one. So the history of this country, what we call Cambodia or Khmer, from the Funon, first capital city, we call Funon. Do you have light? Do you have a pointer, light pointer? No light pointer? Okay. You see, Funon from the second BCE till the 6th AD, Funon. And then Chenla from the 6th to the 9th. From the 6th to the 9th AD, and Angkor period. Angkor from the 9th to 15th century. Angkor similar to Buru Budu Brahmanan, to my friend from Java. So with my experience traveling through Southeast Asia, so I've been everywhere. The Souk of Silk Road, the Chen Siong Citadel of the Terracotta Museum, Great Wall, everything. See, I drive my cars around Vietnam, north to south. I ride a bicycle. Sometimes I fly. Sometimes I took train. And Thailand, I have a friend. Therefore, in further, I went to Archipelago, to Peninsula, Malaysia, Indonesia. So I traveling all this part. What is it India known to Southeast Asia, India known to the Funan. The source of Indians mentioned that the Funan culture was discovered by Indian travelers in the 1st century AD. The kingdom include walled settlement, taxation system, and wealth of import elite goods and script based on Hindi. What is the evidence of this kingdom? Like I mentioned, the Silk Road, maritime Silk Road, create one huge dock harbor we call Âu Cào. It's Ốc Ào or Âu Cào. What is it? In this, I'm sorry, very disturbed. So, and we don't know which part of India influenced to this part of Southeast Asia. You know, India, they have 555 states, country, small country. Which part they influence? Is it from Magadha? Is it from somewhere? Therefore, difficult. But to the Khmer people, we know that Kalinga, when you see beautiful lady, we call, wow, it's Kalinga, beautiful Kalinga woman. Yeah, we always say this one. And this Kalinga, it's Kalinga. Actually, I went to Kalinga. Thanks again, my colleague Bachan Kumar is not here. He's gone. Huh? You're afraid I'm talking about him. Okay. I've been somewhere in India, and then this Kalinga came to the seaport of Âu Cào. Âu Cào is known to Roman time as well. Roman bring goods and material, and from not only from India, not only from Magadha, not only from Kalinga, further from Roman. This the seaport, the trace of seaport. I'm going to show you more. This seaport, the trace of Hindu script. That Hindu script is become Khmer script. It it's same like in Java, in Budu Brahmanan, in Laos, in some country. And there, Âu Cào River, what we call glass river. O, it means river. Cào, it means glass. So, this main seaport of the Funan culture. Funan culture, they have capital city in Angkor Borai. They have a legend talking about the Brahman man, princess from India. His name Kaudenya. He went on a boat, and then he stuck on a seesaw, and then he seen beautiful Cambodia Khmer lady, and then they start involve each other, then become their marriage, and then they create a new family of Kaudenya. Is it true? It's not only the tale, not only legend. You see, probably you can read. What is it? Kaudenya. Kaudenya. Có các ở nạ đa i nạ ya Kaudenya. In inscription. Therefore, maritime sea road is play important for the Cambodia, for the Funan culture. Professor Antu already mentioned Funan, how big Funan? East coast to the west coast. And 1,500 li from the south to the north. Where is it? This one. And then, what is it? The city wall. Okay, I don't know. It's hard, there's no pointer. Can I have this one? This the city wall keep exist till today. It's made from brick and enforced uh, by mud, by clay. So this the city wall structure of the city. They have royal palace, trace of royal palace, the dock, the dock for the king, the dock for the businessman, for the boat, ship go in, and here the wall keep existing about 5 meter. This wall and then enforced by earth. This the moat surrounding, and it's in lowland areas. This the canal. It's huge canal connect from the city to the Ocao, what called Ocao. This Malloy excavation and the French the colonize, and this canal is running through the city. This the Ocao Dock, this Phnom Bate, everything Hindu religion. I'm going to show you the Brahman, the god, and the sea coast today. Why? Because here flat areas, flat area. So from the capital city to the coastline, this huge canal is 70 kilometer, 70 kilometer. And this kingdom, there's no temple. They cannot erect, they cannot build temple. But this unique. Therefore, we guess probably the first first architecture from India to help to build this temple. We call Ashram Maharishi. And here's a lot of script is based on Hindi. Here the trace of the first before building the temple, they cutting the cave and put the god inside. First god is what is it? Linga, Juni. This the first god. So this some I don't know, probably you know, not Dao Liên Cồn, this one, Bố Chí Hương, Bố Chí Hương. From Vietnam, Vietnamese Academy, they visit, I took. And what the god introduced, it's huge god of Vishnu. It is about 3 meter. This one, so Bachan Koma and director of IGNCA, yes. From New Delhi, they visit me and so and so. This Bachan Koma, is it you in this one? Can you see your picture somewhere? Okay, good. He still remember his face. Okay, here all like he's mentioned, like Vietnamese archaeologists mentioned, historian mentioned, it's not face of local Khmer, not Khmer, not Cambodia. It's face of India. Face of India. And the god mostly Linga, yeah. And they have mold, they have a lot of money, they have coin, they have the trace of this one, and so. So this kingdom in up Funan, in up with the fifth century. Then new countries coming, new kingdom is coming. We call Chenla. Who is Chenla? Okay, I have Chenla from the north, from Champasa River, and so Indianization goes through by maritime and go by Mekong River. Mekong, it's something like Ganga River, should flow from China, Tibet, and Thailand, and Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Vietnam. So this one, okay, I don't know because of, and then after they conquered the Funan, they could not stay. because some help from Hindi country, from Malayu, and the kingdom moved the country to the capital city, to the center in Sombo Prikok, they call Isan Pura, and build many temples. Many temples just by brick. Just by brick. This the god and this the goddess in God face of not Cambodia, not face of the Khmer. It's a face of Hindi. But where the Hindi? This the problem. So I'm going to go more on where the Hindi. Oh, sorry. Okay, can I have few more minutes, please? So I traveling to Puri. So what is Puri? Puri is Borai. Puri, the same Puri. What is Mahandragiri? Mahandragiri. Here, Puri, 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 Pura, Puri, Borai. Same Khmer in Borai. Here, Mahandragiri. Mahandragiri is a lot of linga, thousand of linga. I mean, Puri here, I have not been up. Mahandragiri, I have not went up to the top yet. Yes, you've been already in Kulen Mountain. What I want to tell you, it's not on religion, technology. Technologies bring prosperous of Angkorian Cambodia. What is it? I'm standing near Iron Bar. This Iron Bar, it puts up civilization of the Khmer Kingdom. Okay, I'm going to go a bit more. Of the Khmer Kingdom, where the Khmer Kingdoms go in prosperity because of technology. Where the technology is starting, mostly from Puri. I don't know how much from Magadh. Magadh, the Buddha, just came in 15th century in that region. Here, all Hindu, Vishnu Loka. Now it changed from Vishnu Loka to Angkor Wat. Before it Vishnu. And now Buddha came, Buddha introduced from 15th century, it's become 16th century, it's become Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat. It's huge building. It's huge building. So I've been almost everywhere in this world, and I still love this architecture building of my civilization. It's too big, you know. The Naga waiting for you. You walk in, you are gigantic. You are really good king. You are really walk inside the god and the Tevada and what we call Apsara just praying for you. Elephant just give you lotus flower and so on and on. Can I have few more minutes, please? This and Bayan because we lost and Bayon, and there's many temple. There's many temple. There they build highway, even highway, it's huge highway. Even the bridge, even the canal system, the water system, what Professor Antu talking about, reservoir barai, we have classification. There's no wheel. The wheel introduced from Vietnam and China lately in 20th century. Before on hydraulic system in Kulen, ever since they're very rich culture. This rich culture, why? You see, they believe in linga. The linga have condom. Sorry to say, it's from gold. Yeah, cover from gold. So here I'm going to show you what the technology they use. Here shoot iron production. Recently I discovered. Therefore, my book I bring to your university to put in libraries, talking about this huge iron production to Southeast Asia. Okay, I'm in up this one. Thank you for your attention. Let's say Indianization push the Southeast Asia development. But Indianization, the Indian one, the temple is very small. When you go Cambodia, temple is big, 10 times, 100 times bigger than Mahaviraja temple. Thank you for your attention. Please keep.
Thank you so much, Professor Chan Soon Pui. I know your passion about talking about the Khmer civilization. You being in charge of all the monuments and all the cultural exchanges there. I can understand the amount of knowledge and the treasure you have within your brain and within your computer. So, but we have the shortage of time because of the paucity of time. I had to take liberty of telling you to stop. So, with this, we come to the last speaker's contribution to this session. And now I will request the reporter. You will speak or I conclude. Whatever the earlier speakers have spoken, or we can take few questions if there are questions. If you were sleeping, if you are not asking question, that means you were sleeping. And if you are awake, that means you should ask for the questions. Please. We have a question from Dr. Bachchan.
First of all, I congratulate all the presenters, speakers for their excellent presentation. There are so many questions, but still we have paucity of time. So I will just place some questions. That is my first question with Andrea Austria. She has spoken very well about Kubera. Kubera, once I have written one paper on Kubera in Thailand. And also, I'm also going to publish another paper on Kubera in Vietnam. So, my question is that she has covered almost widely Kubera concept in Japan, Tibet, Vietnam, Thailand, and other countries. So, what are the differences in iconography? And is there any difference in concept? Because Kubera is everywhere presented as god of wealth. In India, we also worship as god of wealth. Another thing, is there any written record or manuscripts in all these countries so that we could conclude that this is the image of Kubera? Two questions. Another question is my Reverend Professor Dharmyasa. Dharmyasa, you have very nicely presented your paper and you spoke about Sutsoma. Sutsoma, what Sutsoma says, and you have excellently presented very similarity with Magad and your country. So, what my question is that, of course, our evidence says that we went there, but is there any evidence that from your country people came to India and they have their impact here? Because we have ample of evidences about Sri Vijaya and Nalanda. So Sri Vijaya people, students came to Nalanda and they studied here, and so there are so many evidences. So what are the is there any uh, diplomatic, there were also diplomatic relation between Srivijaya and Nalanda. So many donations were presented to uh, so many so many amount were released by the Srivijaya king for the Nalanda university. So my question is that what are the impacts, their impacts from Indonesian point of view? What are their impacts, because they have regularly came here in Nalanda? There must be some impact. Do you have a study about the Indonesian impact on India? Two questions.
You have two questions, one from Professor Andrea
Hmm.
and the other one from.
And Professor Chantun Thai, he has very widely explained about the Indian culture. First, he said that we have uh, we have this conference is on Thailand and Magad. Why not we have extended up to Southeast Asia? Because yeah, because we have still avenues to cover other countries. Yeah, relations with India, Magad and Southeast Asian countries. Next time we would like to switch on to Vietnam. Is there any relation between the Vietnam and Magad or other countries of Southeast Asia? So I have visited uh, Mekong Delta. Widely, I have covered all the states I have covered, and my question is that so far the excavations and artifacts are discovered, there are still different opinions. Both Buddhism and Saivism, sorry, Buddhism, Saivism, and uh, uh, Vaishnavism. Vaishnav. So, Hindu sect Saivism and uh, Saivism and Vaishnavism both were prevalent. But which of the sects, whether Vaishnavite sects arrived there first or Saivite sects arrived there first? And another thing, I have seen uh, in Okio so many Buddha images, and still some of them are burnt. So in ancient time, uh, people used to make temples of uh, wooden work. They prepare temples of wood. So in the beginning of the Christian era, so that Hunan kingdom radiates from Okio. So there are so many uh, burnt uh, woods are there. At that time, stone images were built or by the of Hunan kingdm. Is there any some other besides Buddhism? Savite also Savite artifacts are also found in Okyu. because I have seen whole of Okyo harbors. It was a very uh, uh, very extensive harbor. It is there. So little bit you will explain about the other artifacts discovered from Okyo. Okay, thank you.
So we take 3 questions from you. First question is Professor Andrea. So will you?
Well, what regards Kubara, you're right that certainly that has to be much more looked into and find also the iconographical variations and apart from the names and so on. But this is beyond my, in that limited time, I could not further, but I did do the, as I said, explored all the Tibetan texts regarding the different forms of Vaishravana or Kubara or Chambala as we call him. So this is important. Another point is that I always underscribe that we can speak of a Korean Buddhism, we can speak of a Vietnamese Buddhism, a Thai Buddhism, Japanese Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, and so on, because of its cultural expression, right? So a Thai Buddhist, we can see that here in Bodh Gaya very easily looking at all these different Buddha presentations in the temples, right? The Thai Buddha looks different from the Chinese and so on. So there are these, and I call that's why we can speak of this particular Buddhist cultures, calling them by their names. No, it's a Korean Buddhism. This is a Tibetan presentation of Buddhist iconography. So that certainly varies. There's this one picture I showed, I don't know the Japanese name of that Saraswati, which was taken over. It is absolute Japanese, right, in its depiction. So that is there, right? And so, but whether there are scriptures or not, in Japanese or in Chinese, certainly they are. But I have not studied them. I have only studied the texts which we have in our Tibetan Tanjura. These I have studied, but there are plenty, right? But that is a work in progress. I cannot say more. Thank you.
Second question, I pass on the mic to.
Regarding Sutta Soma, it's a Mahakavya, and Sutta Sama is the grandson of Bhima. And in this Sutta Sama Kakawin, Mahakavya, he is teaching about ahimsa. So once he offered even his body to the lion, not to eat the deer, but he said, "You eat my body." So there he teaches about the dharma. About dharma in here means Buddha, Bodha Dharma. So that time in Indonesia was some hot relationship between Saiva Dharma and Bodha Dharma. And through this teaching, Sutta Soma said, Ruaned Rakwa Wiswa Buddha. Ruaneka Datu. So it's two things, but it's one. Never one become two, two become one. It's both are same. Bhinneka, Tunggal Ika, Bhina Ika, Bhina. It's a different that. Bhina Ika, it's different. Tunggal Ika, it's one. So unity in diversity. So in there, Sutasama teaching mostly about ahimsa and the togetherness or sameness about these two dharma, Saiva dharma and Bodha dharma. It is mentioning in the first line that Vishwa Buddha. Vishwa means Saiva and Buddha, that Bodhis. And about the Sri Vijaya times, yeah? Yeah, your question, next question is that about that, yeah? So it is said that Sri Vijaya offer lots of donation to Nalanda, yeah. Because you did like this, it's mean in Indonesian, it mean no. So, of course, that kind of big donation cannot happen without diplomacy. So it was there, diplomacy. Diplomatic relationship was there. And also the most influence from India. So many Indian businessmen, holy place, yeah, holy persons. Mostly the famous one is Maharishi Agastya and Maharishi Markandeya. And Maharishi Agastya, more famous in Java, spreading Saiva Dharma, and Markandeya, little bit famous in Java, but then to Bali. And this interesting what happened with Markandeya Rishi. He came from India and then settled in Java. And in East Java, in one month called Mon Raung, Gunung Raung. So he meditated there, and from there he saw a bright light in Bali, eastern side. That time, no Bali yet, in his knowledge. So he saw in the eastern side the big light. So he went there with 8,000 his followers. But then mostly all his followers died. Then he back to Java, did another sadhana. Then he back again to Bali with 400 followers. But in Bali, he did some tantric prayer, which what in Bali nowadays they are doing. Without that kind of tantric puja, you cannot get a blessing or agya nahi milega. So वहाँ जो देवी देवता बाली का है ना, बिना उनकी आज्ञा कुछ नहीं कर पाए. तो उन्होंने माउंट राउंग से आज्ञा लिया, साधना किया, फिर वापस आया. जो बालिनिस टाइप का सेरेमनी, तांत्रिक सेरेमनी करा के फिर उन्होंने बैसाखी टेम्पल में पंचधातु जमीन में दबाया. तब बाली स्टेबल और वहाँ बिग मंदिर बनाया. और कई जगह में उबुड में भी उनका आश्रम था, जहाँ वो संगम में 2 नदी का संगम उबुड में. तो प्रणाम.
Okay. Third question is with him. You have a third question? With Professor. You? With you? Hanantu, you have a question?
No, whether Buddhism, whether Saivism or Vaishnavism, which of the sects appeared first in Cambodia? There is still different opinions among the scholars.
Came, no, when the installation.
What is your opinion?
Which religion, Vaishnavism or Shaivism? Which one came before?
Sivaism. came
Huh?
first. Evidence of Sivaism came first. Siva.
No, but Funan,
Funan, a lot of Siva. A lot
no,
of
of
Siva.
course Shiva, but most of the ancient images are of Vishnu.
Yeah. Siva, Vishnu,
But still,
and
still there is conflict, conflict among the scholars, and still this is there is opinion. So many evidences are there that Saivism came after Vaishnavism. So that is what is your opinion? I'm not going other sources.
yeah. My opinion, the Hindu Siva is coming first, not Buddha. Buddha's coming later. Buddha's
But
coming
okay,
later.
but
My
there are so many.
opinion, actually my birth, I'm Buddhism, but I believe more on Siva.
Oh,
Yeah. I
course, that is Vaishnav temple.
I think that
Angkor, what is a Vaishnav temple? Suryavarman second was the so why Suryavarman second? Suryavarman second
Yeah.
constructed this temple.
Yeah, this temple from Vishnu. And
Yeah.
until 1600, the Buddha came in and changed Angkor Wat. Before we call Vishnu Loka, and now it's called Angkor Wat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that your interest is very helpful for us to think about the religion in Funan Kingdom. In my opinion, I think that first we must consider Hunan Kingdom in the background of China and India. Because this kingdom located on the trading road connected from India to China. Yeah, and religion in this kingdom is so diversity. Uh, Religion focus on two majority religion, that is Hindu, they call it Brahmanism, and Buddhism, both. And the king, they practice Hinduism, especially they worship Vishnu, and the common people they worship Shiva, because Shiva may be relevant to fertility cult of the local people, and the normal people they like this belief very much. But royal family they are not Hindu follower. And why? No, they are Hindu, they are not Buddhist, but king is not Buddhist. But why? Buddhism in Funan is growing, is yet it develops. It's relevant to China because from the first to the fifth century, that period, Buddhism is very strong in China. Buddhism is a majority religion in China, and China they also has a very good relationship to Hunan. Hunan is a transmitted point to bring Buddhism from India to China. And then that reason, if we depend on the Chinese history, Funan king, they always send a lot of envoy from Funan to China. All the envoy, they are Indian monks. Yeah, that's the way. Why? Why? Because Indian monks, they are very good at Chinese language. They can speak a lot of foreign language. And second, they go there. It means to train the message of the King Funan King, and they also reaching Buddhism in China. Yeah. And there are some record. The Chinese emperor they request Funan should send Indian monks to their country in order to bring Sangric and Bali Buddhist sacred texts to their country, so that even Kunankin, he is not Buddhist, but because the benefit from China. Yeah, I mean they support China. That is the reason religion is one of the issue. Punankin, they keep balance in the diplomatic and benefits between India and China. Thank you. Yeah.
Just last one statement from him, then we'll conclude all the questions and the discussion you can have after the session because we are getting late.
Just tell you that we was Hindu. Cambodia, Khmer was Hindu since the first century, in the Funan period, up to 15th, 16th century AD. Why we turn to Buddha? Because we are Cambodian people, same like you are Indian people, caste system. Only me Brahman, only me Jayavaraman is very strong. Yeah. And therefore, slavery built a lot of temple. Slavery built cast work a lot for casting the iron. If you see the iron production where I discovered recently, 2 by 2 square kilometer of production, where how they did slavery. Therefore, Buddha came by land. I don't know, from here to go Myanmar, and then Myanmar to Ayutthaya down to Angkor. Then revolution turned boom from Hindi, from Hindu come to Buddha. Everyone have same right. See, Angkor Wat have 3 doors. 1 door for the king, for ambassador, here for the minister, here for the people still remember till today, and here for guard, military, and slavery. No people can looking to the king. No, have to bow the head to the ground. Therefore, slavery. Therefore, Buddhism. If someone go to Buddha, and we have same right. Therefore, people they and king Brahman is become minority, and how can he survive? Therefore, the temple Taprum you visit, Professor, you've been many times, especially Southeast Asia. So you've been, and then they change from the sculpture of style of Hindu come to the Buddha. Therefore, Angkor Wat, we just said, Suryavarman to erect Vishnu Lok, Bakhang, Bayon, all the linga. In Borobudur, Buddha, 45 tower, if I not forgot, 45 tower in Java, Buddha. But in Angkor Wat, Yasatara Burak, 90 tower, all linga erect and yoni erect inside. So Cambodia more Hindu than Java. Thank you.
One thing just ask you. You have written a very nice book on Iron Age.
Yes.
So, what is your opinion whether bronze came first or iron?
Oh, it's very important. I'm sorry, I'm co-chair. Okay. Therefore, technology. I'm 10 years away from India College. Therefore, I need to do research from Puri. They made a lot of iron. So I see, of course, the tin may first, but the shoes production iron, how to cut the stone. I want to show a lot my technology. I went to some Manipur, the technique of the cutting stone, how they melting in Puri, in Odisha. Therefore, I want to study this more, that technologies may come from you, from India, to go to Cambodia. I am mostly majority, but I don't know which king first or iron first or the machine first. The question where I have to do a lot of research. Therefore, I encourage the young scholars, especially young PhD students. The pity the small group is coming here to listen in top 10 Southeast Asia, Anto and the Vietnam College and Indonesia. They have good paper for you all, but you are very small people.
No, one thing, artifacts excavated from the Dongsan sites, uh, we have found, or scholar excavators have found both bronze and iron at the same level.
I do excavation, a lot of excavation.
Yes,
On
yes.
this one, run what? Dongsong drum. Dongsong.
Yeah, that is bronze. That is
said,
bronze.
I'm the first Dongsong production. But Chinese, they said, I'm the first one in.
No. Iron arrows are also found there.
Of course, of course.
Bronze Age is 3000 BCE and Iron Age is 1000.
Yeah.
So now you can.
But at the same level, both the iron and bronze are found.
No, but that will naturally happen, because bronze was already there and Iron Age came later. So there was a period when simultaneously both the things were going on. So let it be a thought for food. You can discuss it during dinner time or maybe early morning when you get up. You'll get some wisdom. So with this, we should conclude the session. And I'll just say that we had brilliant discussions, very good 5 talks. First by Professor Fan Anthu and Mrs. No Than An. They spoke about the cultural and artistic relationship between Magad and Funan Empire, discoveries from archaeology and ancient texts. He also mentioned about the Gupta period uh, prototype, Gupta period, the first example we get at Bhitargaon near Kanpur in central India, and also the resemblance in Vinh Huang Temple in Vietnam. So that's a very good comparison because there was a question. There's always a question in the mind. We always talk of Indian influence in Southeast Asia, but for future researches, we must also concentrate what influences from Southeast Asia we have in India, as Dr. Bachchan Kumar also broached this topic. So we should always be keeping that in mind. And he also mentioned about the present day southern Vietnam and southeast portion of Cambodia and southern part of Thailand and Malaysia, which are located in the present day. Here, I would like to say that we should also keep in mind that at the before the Ice Age, this land mass would have been a one plate rather than what we see in isolated Dweep, Updweep, or Mahadweep. So before the Ice Age, this was a whole area. So movement, trading, and going was much more easy. And maritime archaeology also suggests that this came little later, and earlier land archaeology was already there. So he also mentioned about Magad in Vietnamese. Very interesting. Names are also given to the Indian geographical areas. So how geography takes the culture, or how culture goes to the geographical areas and takes the shape, is a very interesting study. And he also mentioned about the Chinese texts, which maintain relatively the word Funan and Magad relationship quite a lot. I would also mention, he said about the control of sea trade from India and China. So that is one of the reason could have been that who was trying to take the control of the sea trade. The second talk we had from Ras Acharya E. Mahade Dharmayasa. He spoke about tracing historical connections between Magad Empire and early kingdoms in Nusantara. And he spoke about Bharat Varshe, 8 Mahadweep, 8 Updweep, and also the two parts. Then recent discoveries, which are still undergoing at Gurung Padang site, they are also revealing. So I am waiting, and we should all be waiting for more excavation going on there, and we find that under that Gurung, under that mountain, Gunung Padang. And other than the pyramid, what else do we find? And I'm very confident that we'll find some similarity and some more archaeological evidences there. And Professor Andrea Seabury Logeres, she mentioned about the wealth and prosperity rituals in Asian Buddhism, with special emphasis on the cults of wealth on Thailand. She spoke about the uh, Lord of Wealth, Kuber, or Kuber in some of the cultures as Dwarapal. Kuber is also a Dwarpal, surprisingly, in the Jain sculptures. We find many a times that Kuber is in the Jain traditions also. And how it is a custodian of wealth, and our Reserve Bank of India, the main office in Delhi, has a Kuber on the gate. So, how it is connected, uh, VC mentioned, no, Professor uh, uh, Vinodji had mentioned that two things are very important. How parampara also goes, the living, tangible and intangible culture, how it goes side by side. So that's one of the examples what we find here. Uh, then we had the fourth chapter. I'm missing out. She spoke something very interesting. Master Le Lin Chi, Vietnam impact of Indian Buddhism in Khmer and cultural festival in South Vietnam. So in festivals, we do find many similarities. Some of the northeastern festivals, northeastern costumes also have a similarity of Southeast Asian countries. So that's also one era. And also the textile, how the similarities in the textile, how similarity in the uh, flower, fruit, decoration, that is also very common in Northeast India and Southeast Asia. So she also showed a very interesting image of Buddha Mahaparinirvan, which is at Somrong Pagoda. So I wanted to ask you later, maybe later I'll ask you, what is the size of that sculpture? It looks very, very huge. So well, I'll come back to you. And the last, very interesting, it's in fact his talk is still going on. Professor Chan, one second. Chan Thun Thoi, who spoke so much about Cambodia that immediately finishing this seminar, one feels like going to Cambodia and see more things along with him. So we had brilliant discussions, and I am sure it will not end here. But if, because of the time, we will finish it here, and we'll continue again tomorrow during the lunch and during the break whenever we get. I pass on the mic. I complete my duty. I thank all the learned speakers who gave us such learning. I also thank my co-chair who was very supportive and who was constantly helping me out. I thank Dr. Bachchan Kumar. I may not get another opportunity to convey my thanks to the department also. As Professor Ravindra Pant in one of my conferences, this book I'm going to present tomorrow. I'm very proud to announce that this two seminars we had done, Indo-Thai cultural relations, one was in India and one was in Bangkok, and co-editor along with Professor Sachidanand Sahai, I was there, and he gave me this chance of working with him. I learned a lot from him. So this quote I will say, rare is the birth as a human being, hard is the life of mortals, hard is the hearing of the sublime truth that is Dhamma, rare is the appearance of Buddha. And we are in the land of Buddha, where Buddha gave the Gyan, and we all follow that path. And with that, I thank for you to give me the opportunity of chairing this session and also attending the seminar. Best wishes to all of you who are sitting here. One last duty as a chair. Those who have presented the papers this afternoon, I request you, today is 13th of May, by 15th of June, I'm giving you 2 days extra. So within a month, 15th of June, all the written papers along with the images with high resolution should reach Dr. Bachchan Kumar or to the department, and so that the proceeding comes out. Those who are unable to give the papers on time, their name will be mentioned, their contribution will be mentioned in the book, but book will be published. This is what I did in this book also. So try, if you want to be there, like I'm missing in the souvenir, I'm not there because I did not give him the paper. So don't have that heartbroken situation like me. Please present and please submit your papers on time. By 15th of June, your paper should arrive here. 15th of June, 2025, not 26. Thank you.
Thank you very much for chairing this session, ma'am. And I must thank all the distinguished speaker for wonderful papers. As all the announcement has already been made by the learned chairperson. So from tomorrow, we will also be enthusiastically again gathered here for the morning session, and thereafter lunch, there will be a valedictory function of this global seminar. Thank you, everyone. Morning at 10:30. Yeah, 10:30. The academic session will be started. Okay.
I will send you more. Yeah, yeah. Some conference vendors have to believe or religions. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Graph, please.